Humanity, with the help of their new allies, launched one final, devastating assault on the Dread Armada's last stronghold. The Androni provided their wisdom to help coordinate the attack, while the Zorv warriors led the charge with unmatched courage and strength. The Trelvian technology provided humanity's fleet with advanced weaponry that tore through the Dread Armada's defenses. The combined power of the Galactic Alliance was overwhelming. The Dread Armada, once a force that crushed entire planets, was now being pushed back. General Ava Daniels stood on the bridge of the flagship Victory, watching the battle unfold. Her heart raced as she saw the enemy's ships being destroyed one by one. "We're going to win this," she thought, a sense of pride swelling within her. It had been a long and difficult fight, but humanity had proven their strength, their determination, and their ability to lead. As the final wave of attacks hit, the last of the Dread Armada's fleet was destroyed. Their forces, shattered and leaderless, had no choice but to surrender. The war was over. The galaxy was free. The news spread quickly across the galaxy. The members of the Galactic Alliance, their eyes filled with relief and joy, celebrated the victory. No longer would they live in fear of the Dread Armada's wrath. And as the leaders of the Galactic Council gathered to discuss the aftermath, it was clear that humanity had earned a place of respect among the stars. The Galactic Council, once skeptical of humanity's role in the galaxy, now saw the humans in a new light. They had fought bravely and led the charge against the Dread Armada. The humans had not only proven their ability to fight but had also shown their capacity for leadership. In a short time, they had turned the tide of the war and united species who had never before worked together. The Trelvian Council leader, a tall, elegant being named Relor, stepped forward to address the council. "The humans have shown us something we could not have imagined," he said, his voice filled with admiration. "They have led us to victory, and for that, they have earned our respect. We stand with them, now and always." The Zorv leaders, usually reserved in their praise, nodded in agreement. "Humans fight with honor," said Zorv Commander Korth. "They are worthy allies, and we will fight beside them in any future battles." And the Androni, known for their peacekeeping efforts, spoke with a sense of deep gratitude. "The humans brought us together when we thought it was impossible. They gave us hope when all seemed lost. For that, we will forever be in their debt." The human representatives, including General Daniels, were moved by the words of the galactic leaders. They had been through so much, and to hear such respect from their allies filled them with pride. The humans had not only survived the war, they had become leaders in the galaxy. They had earned a place in the future of the galaxy, and that future was brighter than ever before. With the Dread Armada defeated, the Galactic Alliance turned its focus to rebuilding. The war had left scars, but it had also created bonds between species that would last for generations. Together, they worked to repair the damage done to planets and rebuild communities that had been destroyed in the conflict. For humanity, the victory was more than just a military success. It was the beginning of a new chapter. The galaxy, once divided and fearful, was now united. Humanity had shown the galaxy that they could be more than just survivors. They could be leaders, heroes, and, most importantly, a source of hope for the future. General Daniels looked out at the stars, a sense of peace settling over her. "We did it," she whispered. "Together, we did it." The galaxy had been saved, and humanity had found its place among the stars. The victory had not just been about defeating the Dread Armada. It had been about earning respect, forging lasting alliances, and proving that even the smallest species could change the course of the universe. And in the end, humanity had done just that. The first signs of change came when several key species in the galaxy's council reached out to humanity. The Zorv, a proud race of warriors known for their strength and discipline, were the first to offer their support. They had watched how humanity had handled the Dread Armada's surprise attacks and admired their courage and tactical brilliance. The Zorv weren't known for forming alliances easily, but they saw in humanity a new kind of strength. The Zorv leaders offered their ships, promising to join humanity's forces. Next came the Trelvian species, a race of scientists and inventors known for their cutting-edge technology. They were impressed by humanity's ability to adapt quickly in the heat of battle. The Trelvians' advanced weaponry could be a game-changer for humanity, and they agreed to supply humans with the best technology they had. The Trelvian engineers worked alongside human scientists to develop more powerful weapons, shields, and engines, giving humanity a significant technological boost. Finally, the Androni, a peaceful and diplomatic species known for their wisdom, reached out. They had seen the potential for a united front against the Dread Armada and realized that if they were to survive, they needed to work together. The Androni offered their diplomatic expertise to help broker peace among the galaxy's species, ensuring that once the Armada was defeated, the galaxy could rebuild. The formation of this new alliance was not without its challenges. There were still many species in the galaxy who were skeptical of humanity's abilities. They were wary of trusting Earth's leaders and military commanders, unsure of what they would do once the Dread Armada was defeated. Would humans want to dominate the galaxy, as some feared? Would they turn on their new allies once the battle was over? General Ava Daniels, aware of the uncertainty, was quick to address these concerns. "We're fighting for the survival of everyone," she said in a speech to the Galactic Council. "Once we defeat the Armada, we will work together to ensure peace. We will not turn our backs on our allies. This is about unity, about working together for a better future." Her words helped calm some of the fears, but it would take time to build trust. The alliances were fragile, and the war was far from over. However, the human-led alliance quickly began to show its strength. The new coalition was a powerful force, combining human ingenuity with the strength of the Zorv, the advanced technology of the Trelvian, and the wisdom of the Androni. As the new alliance began to take shape, humanity led the charge, taking the fight to the heart of the Dread Armada's forces. The combined fleets launched coordinated strikes that forced the Dread Armada into retreat. The battle had shifted once more, and now, it was clear that the Galactic Alliance was the true force to be reckoned with. However, forming this alliance was just the beginning. There was still much to do. The war was far from over, and the Dread Armada still had many ships left. But humanity, backed by their new allies, had become a central power in the galaxy. Together, they stood a chance against the terrifying threat that had once seemed impossible to defeat. As General Daniels looked out over the battlefield, she could see the hope that had been sparked in the hearts of her fellow humans and their allies. This was more than just a fight for survival. It was a fight for unity, for the future of the entire galaxy. And for the first time, they were all united with a common goal. The Galactic Alliance was born, and it would change the galaxy forever. The final push had come. The battle was nearing its end, and humanity, now united with their new allies, was on the verge of a victory that no one had imagined possible. The Dread Armada, once thought to be invincible, was finally on the retreat. Their forces were disorganized and broken, and their command structure was shattered. The Galactic Alliance had done what many had once believed was impossible. They had united to defeat the terror that had haunted the galaxy for so long. The galaxy was peaceful until one day, everything changed. Far from the center of the galaxy, in the unknown darkness, something ancient and terrifying stirred. For thousands of years, it had remained silent, forgotten by most, but now it was awake. A massive fleet of terrifying ships, known as the Dread Armada, suddenly emerged from the depths of space. They were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen, dark, foreboding, and capable of destroying entire planets with ease. The Galactic Council, a group of leaders from the most powerful species in the galaxy, had always prided itself on keeping the peace. But now, they were in a panic. The Dread Armada didn't just attack, they tore through planets, turning vibrant cities into rubble, and leaving nothing but ashes behind. No one had ever seen a force like this. The terror was unlike any other, and no one knew how to stop it. The first planet to fall was Algor 5, a peaceful world of scientists and engineers. Its defense systems were top of the line, but they were useless against the Dread Armada. Within hours, the planet was nothing more than a burning shell. Then came Lyran 9, a thriving trading hub. It too fell within a day, leaving billions of innocent lives lost. The galaxy was falling apart, and the Galactic Council knew it. They were helpless. In a desperate move, the council leaders called a meeting. The Grand Hall, usually filled with calm discussions and plans for peace, now buzzed with fear and panic. "We need help," one leader of the Zera species said, her voice shaking.
We can't fight this alone. No one can. Another leader, a towering Darnakian, slammed his fist on the table. We've tried everything. We need to find something or someone who can stop them. The room fell silent, the weight of their situation heavy in the air. The council had always been strong, but this was different. There was no defense, no ally, and no weapon that could match the destructive power of the Dread Armada. They had to face the truth. Unless they acted fast, the entire galaxy would be consumed by the terror. Then, in the midst of their panic, someone spoke up. It was a human envoy, a representative of the human race, sitting quietly at the back of the room. "We can help," the human said calmly, drawing the attention of the entire council. "We've fought battles before. We're not afraid to take risks. If you let us, we can help you stop this menace." The room went silent. The council members exchanged wary glances. Humans? The species that had only recently been welcomed into the galactic fold? The species known for their unpredictable ways and reckless nature? Could they really be the solution? The Zera leader scoffed. "You think humans can stop this? You're out of your mind." But the human envoy stood tall, unwavering. "We have technology, yes, but most importantly, we have the courage and the will to win. We don't give up when things look impossible." The council members were skeptical, but desperation clouded their judgment. They had no choice. "Fine," the Darnakian leader grumbled. "We'll let you try. But if you fail, it's on your heads." And so, despite their doubts, the Galactic Council agreed. Humans would lead the charge against the Dread Armada. It was a dangerous gamble. The fate of the galaxy was now in their hands. Would humanity rise to the occasion, or would they be crushed under the weight of the greatest threat the galaxy had ever known? The countdown had begun. The battle for the galaxy's future was about to begin. The Galactic Council had reluctantly agreed to let humanity fight the Dread Armada, but they still weren't sure if humans could make any difference. The Council's members had seen plenty of battles, and they believed that the galaxy's powerful species would need more than just courage to defeat such an unstoppable enemy. Humans had always been seen as unpredictable and even reckless. Still, their daring words and willingness to fight had earned them a chance. Human leaders wasted no time. As soon as the decision was made, they set to work. They called on the best engineers, military leaders, and strategists from across Earth. The entire planet was united behind this one cause: to stop the Dread Armada and save the galaxy. The first thing humans did was analyze the Terror Fleet. The Armada ships were massive, some as large as small moons, and their weapons were unlike anything humans had ever faced. They could destroy entire cities with a single blast, and their technology was far more advanced than any species in the galaxy had imagined. But humans had something the Armada didn't: unpredictability and creativity. Human strategists knew they couldn't take the Armada head-on in a traditional fight. The human military wasn't as large as the Council's fleets, and their weapons weren't as powerful. But humans were quick thinkers. They didn't rely on sheer numbers, they relied on something more: ingenuity. "We can't match their power, but we can outsmart them," said General Ava Daniels, one of Earth's top military leaders. She had spent her entire career studying tactics and was known for her ability to think outside the box. She and her team quickly developed a plan that no one else had considered: guerrilla warfare. Human ships would not engage in direct, full-on battles. Instead, they would strike fast and hit hard, always staying one step ahead of the enemy. Using their advanced technology, human engineers developed stealth technology that would allow their ships to hide from the Armada's sensors. These ships could move undetected and would be able to carry out hit-and-run attacks. But there was more. Humans also invented new weapons that could exploit the weaknesses in the Dread Armada's ships. These weapons weren't as powerful as the Armada's guns, but they were far more effective against the giant ships. One such weapon was a high-frequency pulse that could interfere with the Armada's ship systems, causing them to temporarily shut down or malfunction. The humans also created specialized drones that could infiltrate the Armada's fleet, planting bombs or sabotaging key systems. While the Galactic Council doubted their chances, humans were confident in their strategy.
They knew they couldn't win by fighting the same way the Armada did. Instead, they would use speed, surprise, and clever tactics to outsmart them. It was a risky plan, one that could fail if even one part of it went wrong. But the human leaders were willing to take that risk. After all, they didn't have any other choice. As the final preparations were made, the human fleet gathered in the dark void of space, ready to take on the dread Armada. The Council watched from their ships, unsure of what to expect. The other species of the galaxy were still skeptical, but humanity's confidence was undeniable. "Let's show them why they made the right choice," General Daniels said as she stood at the front of the human fleet, watching the Armada on their sensors. The battle was about to begin, and humanity was determined to make it count. The ships moved out, and the first wave of attacks began. It wasn't long before the dread Armada felt the first blow. Humanity's bold strategy was in motion, and it was more than just a fight for survival, it was a fight for the future of the galaxy. The battle had begun, and humanity's bold strategy was in full swing. At first, it seemed to be working. The dread Armada, known for its unstoppable power, had never faced such a calculated, unpredictable enemy. Humans were using their speed and stealth to surprise the Armada at every turn. They hit hard and fast, disabling key ships with their high-frequency pulses and sabotaging their weapons. The dread Armada, expecting a traditional fight, was caught off guard. However, as the days passed, the tide started to turn. The dread Armada, despite its size and fearsome strength, was not easily defeated. They adapted quickly to the human tactics, improving their defenses and responding with their own counterattacks. Slowly, the advantage began to slip away from humanity. In the middle of the chaos, the human fleet took a heavy blow. One of their lead ships, the Vanguard, was struck by a devastating blast from an enemy dreadnought, causing massive damage. The ship's shields flickered and failed, and before the crew could react, the ship was boarded by dread Armada soldiers. It was a disaster. The loss of the Vanguard sent shockwaves through the human fleet, and morale began to drop. "We can't keep this up," General Ava Daniels shouted, her face lined with worry as she watched the battle unfold. "Our attacks are having less impact, and we're losing more ships by the hour. We're running out of time." The human fleet had been pushing hard, but their losses were mounting. The dread Armada's weapons were simply too powerful. Their ships were gigantic, and their energy shields seemed invincible. Human fighters, though skilled and brave, couldn't compete against such overwhelming force. For a moment, it seemed like the battle might be lost. But humanity didn't give up. This was the turning point, where everything could go wrong or right. General Daniels and her team knew they had one last card to play, a secret weapon they had been working on in the shadows. They had been developing a new type of ship, small, fast, and able to bypass the dread Armada's defenses. This ship, called the Phantom, was designed to infiltrate the heart of the Armada and deliver a powerful blow to its command center. The Phantom was equipped with an experimental engine that could temporarily disable the dread Armada's sensors, allowing it to slip unnoticed into the heart of the enemy fleet. It also carried a weapon unlike anything the Armada had faced, a concentrated energy pulse capable of disrupting their power cores. It was the kind of weapon that could change the course of the war. With no time to waste, General Daniels gave the order. "Launch the Phantom now. It's our last chance." The Phantom and its crew, led by Captain Jack Reeve, a seasoned veteran of humanity's special forces, were launched into the heart of the battle. The small ship moved quickly, darting between the massive dreadnoughts, using the stealth technology to avoid detection. The dread Armada's ships were too large to notice the tiny vessel slipping past them. As the Phantom neared the core of the Armada, Captain Reeve and his team prepared for the most dangerous mission of their lives. They were about to strike the heart of the beast. The tension was thick, and every crew member knew that if they failed, the galaxy might fall. But they were determined. In a bold move, Captain Reeve activated the energy pulse and fired it directly into the central command ship of the Armada. The shot hit with terrifying precision, and the entire ship's power systems began to flicker. For the first time, the dread Armada's fleet began to falter. Their ships began to lose power, and chaos erupted within their ranks. It was as if the entire Armada had suddenly become paralyzed.
"This is it," General Daniels whispered as she watched the explosion on the monitors. The Phantom had done it. The turning point had come. The Dread Armada's hold on the galaxy was weakening, and humanity had struck the decisive blow. With the Armada's command ship disabled, the rest of their fleet began to lose coordination. Humanity's fleet, which had been struggling, now saw an opening. They launched a full assault, taking advantage of the confusion within the enemy ranks. The tide of the battle was turning. Humanity had done what no one thought possible. They had found a way to strike at the heart of the terror, and now, victory seemed within reach. The Dread Armada had been dealt a fatal blow, but the battle was far from over. The war was still raging, and humanity had a long way to go. But for the first time since the invasion began, there was hope. The turning point had arrived, and humanity was no longer just fighting to survive. They were fighting to win. With the turning point of the battle behind them, humanity's victory seemed almost within reach. The Dread Armada, once so powerful and unstoppable, was now faltering. Their command ship had been disabled, and their fleet was in disarray. The human fleet, riding on the momentum of their success, pressed forward, striking with precision and speed. For the first time, it seemed like the galaxy might actually have a chance. But as the fight raged on, something even bigger was beginning to take shape behind the scenes: the formation of a new alliance. The Galactic Council, once full of doubts and uncertainty about humanity's role in the war, was now looking at them with newfound respect. What had started as a reluctant partnership was evolving into something far greater.